we first ask, do they get their bill by mail or by email? And then we give them a simplified explanation of why we actually need the bill, which most solar people don't. But we say, hey, we do need a copy of your bill. And sometimes when we ask that, people think that we need some personal information on the bill. We obviously know your full name and your address. I have your phone number right here. I don't need any personal information. There's a number on your bill that tells us how much power your home is consuming. We need that number to see if we can get the amount of panels to put on the roof to basically exceed that amount. That's why we need the bill. Do you get your bill by mail or by email? And then we'll go, perfect. So I'll need a copy of that, which will be easier for you to send over to us in the next 10 minutes. Would it be easier for you to snap a photo of that bill or to just forward me an email from it, just depending on what they say, right? And so that's how we ask for the bill. It's important to ask, when you ask someone for something, to give them a reason why. We'll send it for them, number one, and then the most simple explanation possible on what we're going to do with it. So
yeah, we usually don't ask for the bill. I think that's really bad because they are not doing nothing for us. It's like we are asking, and they're not doing nothing. If they do something, if they move and take a peek, it's like they are most likely to do the meeting. And yeah, that's
100%. So this is delicate because, believe it or not, like asking for the bill at the end of a cold call has, what I've come to realize, is actually made people not show up to the appointment. Because you have to think about it. When we tell them about solar, it already sounds too good to be true. Then at the end of the call, well, Americans, especially old people, they think that if they send us a picture of that bill, we can steal their identity. They don't know it's a bill. They're like, oh no, I'll give that to, like, they're like, I don't know where it is. Because in their mind, they're like, oh, there it is. I knew this person was trying to scam me. And so they finish the call and they're like, I'm not fucking doing that just because we asked for the bill. So it's important that if they can't give like that type of simple explanation, and then give them an easy way out, you can block out everything. We have people who, they'll put their hands on it, just take a picture. I just need that number. You could even write that number down. If you want to find the total usage, you could even send that over to us. And then if everything works out, we still will need the actual copy of the bill. But really, more than anything, Mr. Homeowner, what we're looking for is the number of consumption, right, in kilowatt hours that your home is actually using right now. So, but they have to be able to say that, and you guys should role play that over and over and over, because if they can't say it in a good way, it'll kill the sit rate. It took me a long time to realize that. I'm like, why are we not getting the bill? And B, why are we having such a low sit rate? And then if you look at the change, if you do call reviews as often as I do, and you listen to the change in tonality after the bill is asked for, it's shot for us because we're doing it at the end of the call too. And so I was like, oh, we need to change that. Because a lot of people are having a good conversation, and then when we ask for the bill, and they go, yeah, I don't know where it is. I'll have it for the consultant.
Yeah. It's good. Put your hand. I don't need your information. We know everything. We just need to have the kilowatts. And I have another question for that, for the confirmation. You have a CRM. You send text from a normal phone.
Yeah. So no, you have. So here's my opinion on this is different. I feel like because it's coming from cold, outbound, not inbound. If it's inbound and they signaled interest, filled out a lead form, is different. Like automated responses are okay. If it's cold, it needs to be a personalized touch. So for us, at the end, we say, hey, I'm going to have the consultant reach out to you within the hour. So please stand by. Like, is a text or a call work best? And then whatever they say, the consultant needs to. This is if we don't have a virtual handoff, which is what I'm going to talk about next. But if the consultant needs to, from their same cell phone, call them or text them right away. Because again, preconceived notion, they just got off the phone with someone in a different country, and Americans are already kind of like, they feel whatever type of way about it. And so if they can get like a person's cell phone number pop up and like, hey man, this is Rich, I'm the one that's going to be coming out to help you guys tomorrow at 6, just confirming that appointment. Also wanted to see if you guys had any questions that I might be able to answer ahead of time.
And they call again, they call again?
They call right away. They call right the fastest possible. We tell them like, hey, at a maximum, the consultant's going to call you an hour, but I'm going to try to have them to call you immediately if you're available right now. Is that okay? And so again, at that point, they're the homeowner from a psychological standpoint. If they were already on the fence, because most of them are, you have to understand, even if they set an appointment, it's 50-50 at that point once they get off the phone. So what can we do to increase that 50%? And one thing you can do is you can have a new fresh voice come on the line. So our first goal is to have a virtual handoff. So in this process, if I'm the setter, I'm booking the call. At the end of the call, booked it, confirmed. All right, perfect. So happy we're able to take care of you. And then this last thing before we let them go, well, actually, you know what? Have one of our best consultants who's been with us a really long time that's going to take care of you tomorrow. I really want to make sure that his or her availability matches with yours, so there's no confusion, because this person is really good, right? And it's like, if you could just hang on for 2 seconds, I have them and I'm going to bring them on the call. Our process is there's a team lead who watches all the calls in the dialer. And so anytime they see someone on a call and it's longer than like 2 minutes, they jump in and they start to listen to that. As soon as they start to book that person, they ping one of the consultants to get ready to barge into that call. So either the same team lead can barge in and do that virtual handoff at that point. But long story short, once they come onto the call, which is just a barge feature in the dialer, they're like, hey, I'm such and such. I'm either management in the scheduling department, or if it's the consultant, I'm the consultant that's coming to help you out. I just wanted to see if you had any questions. It looks like we're coming at 123 Main Street tomorrow. Looks like you guys have bills of $328. Like, oh my God, that's outrageous. I see you've been having that bill. You've been in that home for 11 years. Has it always been that high? But they're not selling. We're already getting confirmation 2 to 3 times on the first call. So if you get another voice who also is going to confirm twice, it's really hard for that person to then like not show up and not send the bill. Like, why did you've now told multiple people that you were going to do something. It's one thing to lie to one person. It's another thing to get on there, it's to talk to 2 people and to lie to them and then not show up. Right. So what I find with the virtual handoff is like, they'll ask the second party more questions. The setter at the end of the first call, like, hey man, do you have any other questions before I let you go? And it's like, oh no questions. And then they'll go into that spiel. They'll bring the other person on and they'll do their quick little spiel. And like, awesome, perfect. Did you have any questions before I let you go? I always like to answer anything ahead of time to make it, make it pretty quick and easy for you guys. And then all of a sudden they start asking about batteries and installation timeline. It's like the setter asked you 10 times if you had any questions, and you said no. But like the second voice, it has to be an empathetic voice, upbeat, doesn't sound transactional, doesn't sound like they're trying to sell. They literally have to have this tonality like they're having a really good time at work. And it's just like, oh yeah, man, we'll see you tomorrow, man. I'm really happy we're coming out there. Looks like you got big bills. I hope it works out for you. We can't, everybody can't go solar. Sometimes they don't have enough roof space and stuff like that. So like, we can't promise anything, but what I can promise you is like, if we are able to help you, like, you're in good hands. So I'm really happy to be able to come out there or send somebody out there to you tomorrow. Like, their energy has to be like that, because it's almost like, I don't care. We don't care about your business. We're having a good time. I'm really a helpful, nurturing type of person. And we'll see what happens. And so when we're able to bring that in on that second call, they're just like, the sit rate is different.
It's just energy and like one confirmation after the appointment. It's just that. It's energy and another voice. That's the only purpose of the call. And that they can send the bill. That's the other thing.
Yep. Because the setters at the end of their call, because they're booking, if you really pay attention to their energy and their tone of voice, at the end of a set, like there's this pressure, like you kind of can't wait to get off the call so you can fill out the details, and you're also excited that you booked, but like you're ready to escape the call before something goes wrong. And that they need another dose of something lighter before they can truly mentally commit than just something that's transactional. How old is the roof? What type of shading? Breaker panel, max bill, utility, like all that type of stuff. So, but yeah, those couple of things are a game changer for sure. Virtual handoffs and then a solidification. I'll give you a couple of other questions on the solidification. So double confirm. There's a scenario. Hey, I know life happens to us all. Can you think of anything that might get in the way? This is after they've already said a date and time, right? Can you think of anything that might get in the way between us meeting with you between now and tomorrow at noon? I know I called you out of the blue, man, and I know life happens to us all, but can you think of anything that might get in the way between us being able to meet with you between now and tomorrow at noon? And then we take it a step further. There's a reverse, I call it a reverse scenario, right? Because I feel like a really bad person, Mr. Homeowner, if, I know 6 o'clock tomorrow, I know you mentioned you get off work at that time. 6 o'clock is usually dinner time. People sit down with their families. I feel like a really bad person if we scheduled that time for you and you were sitting there waiting for us and then we didn't show up. So the reverse psychology thing is also more art than science. New reps shouldn't be trying to use that from day one until they've like really been trained on that and they have really good tonality on the phones. But you and I can say that to someone and it makes all the difference in the world. But like that, these are more, I guess, higher level statements that are really good.
You think that the one that has to ask this question is the first agent, right? Not the second one. The second one is not going to ask again another confirmation. She's to ask nothing of that because it's going to be like again, like no, it's just chat the first call and just.
Yes. Yep. So she obviously is confirming, but it's much lighter. So she's like, okay, I got you down for, tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Got your address. Just want to confirm the address. 123 Main Street. Zip code is blah, 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 blah. That sound about right to you? Perfect. And we also like to just make sure we can answer any quick and easy questions before we let you go. That way it's very fast for you guys when you meet tomorrow. And so like just stuff like that.
Like 2 minutes call, right? 1-2 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. It's not supposed like we want to really like take care of their time because we made them stay on and play this whole little game. So yes, very, very short call.
Cool. And I have one question. How you do the transaction from the first call to the second one? You say, like, for example, in my case, he's gonna, hey, my manager. You think that is a good thing? My manager or my
yes. So same thing. So I can type this. I know it's recorded too. So you'll say this. So like, hey, actually, this is at the end. This is like homeowner thinks they're about to hang up. Actually, we have some of our best guys available. You're all virtual closers or in-home or what is it?
In-home.
Okay. We've got our best guys in the area, and I want to make sure that I can pair you with someone who's been with the company for a really long time and knows that area and that utility provider really well. Give me 1 second. I have my scheduling manager. I want to make sure that I can pair you with the right person. I'm going to bring them on the call for like 5 seconds. Hang on for me for 5 seconds. Okay. We get that. Okay. They're already listening. And then your CRM, I'm pretty sure it has Whisper and Barge. Do you use those? Okay.
Yeah.
And then just Barge. Okay. Y'all, you don't use it?
No, never.
Oh man. So yeah. So I'll come back to that. So then they'll barge into the call and then they'll do it that way and then they'll hang up. So the setter, first person, is still in the call. They're just on mute listening. So also, this person that you said was a manager or something like that, right?
It's my assistant. She's doing the confirmation.
Okay.
Just that.
Okay. So whether it's her or whether you get what we call a team lead, somebody who's really good, like you can take like your best person or your second best person and put them in a position where their job is to do the virtual handoffs and then watch all of the calls. If they stare at your CRM, show all the calls that are live, right? So again, if once a call is longer than 30 seconds, they need to click it and listen. Because if they use the whisper feature, like this is how my teams got really good when I was selling alarms 10 years ago. I would listen to everybody's call and then I would just whisper and tell them what to say. I did that all day long. And we had one of the best teams in the office because I was like Pinocchio and Geppetto. I was telling them word for word what to say because the homeowner can't hear you. So the homeowner's like, yeah, I want to do this. And I'm like, hey, tell me that you totally understand. And then blah, 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 blah. And they just repeat it back. So your best person, think about it. You can multiply them if they're doing that all day long. And the setters feel way more confident when they have that type of, think about it, it's like having Chat GPT in your ear while you're doing sales, like telling you what to say. So, but like, yeah, you can turn C players into A- players by putting an A person in their ear all day long. So they're doing that. They're helping people overcome objections. They're telling them what to say next, and then they're doing the
virtual. You think that person should be the same one that is going to be the one that is going to do like the second call, or should be another one?
So that depends on how many people you have, but you more than likely would have two different people doing that because if one person is doing it and they're on one call doing the confirmation, then they're missing all. Yep. So cool. So yeah.